Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Bar Shem, Yahushai, Bar Shem, Harakah, Kodash. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of great millstone who rule well. And shalom to the hopeful elect. This is by Allah. This is news and prophecy and news update. The date today is the 13th of March, 2023. The hopeful year of Jacob's trouble. And as the year progresses day by day, you can see how that hope that we have can come to fruition. All right, I got this article from the Daily Mail.co.uk, and the headline reads: So why are America's mega rich, including Jeff Bezos and Mark Zuckerberg, offloading billions of dollars in stock, super wealthy in a race to sell high and invest cash away from the market amid volatile global geopolitics and election? Now, that latter part of the end part of the headline about the, volatile global geopolitics and election, I mean, that's one thing, but when we deal with the movie that come out the end of last year, Leave the World Behind, all right, which was executive produced by former President Barack Obama, all right, you had the guy played by Mahershala Ali, GH, that basically told Julia Roberts' character that he said that the clients that the businesses, the line of work he's in, he's taught to study the curve. So he studies the market, and he said he knew something was coming. All right. So even at that point in the movie, when he mentions it, it's while he was measuring the time diligently, really. All right. He was measuring up. He didn't say nothing, but he was measuring the time. He was looking at the things that was unfolding and just paying a close, attentive eye to it all and seeing how, okay, what does it mean? All right. Now, towards the end of the movie is when when he has he's at odds with his neighbor, that he even mentioned, said he basically, he says it in the beginning of the movie, the earlier parts, how basically the guy, he wanted a certain thing done, but Kevin Bacon's character basically came through and patterned it for him, like just, gave him nice him basically and directed him to do certain things so he could get a real bang for his buck, all right? So in that sense, he felt like, wow, my man's looking out for me, innit? So, they obviously had some kind of friendship. So when he had a standoff with him at gunpoint, that's when it really sunk in. And then he explained one thing that, scared his client, and it was a 3-stage maneuver, right? And he breaks it down at the end. So ultimately, that curve he was studying was for that 3-stage maneuver. So this curve in terms of what was shown in the movie. We know about predictive programming, all right, and the elites of the world basically showing certain signs of the times through their silver screen, all right, which is their Urim and Thummim. We know that these are things that are going to happen. We're seeing the curve. We're studying the curve, and we can see the same things happening. All right. So let's read a bit of this. So it says a mass sale has prompted fears of an economic downturn, or it could be fears of a looming hike in taxes. The mystery of the billions of dollars worth of stock sold by some of the wealthiest in the world, despite the market continuing at an all-time high, remains. The mass sale has prompted fears of an economic downturn, or it could be fears of a looming hike in taxes. The tech bubble showed it was under extreme strain throughout 2023, with mass layoffs hitting Silicon Valley while President Joe Biden has promised a hike in taxes for the super rich should he win re-election in November. As JP Morgan Chase CEO Jamie Dimon pointed out in a grim earnings statement in October, this may be the most dangerous time the world has seen in decades. Right. And that's the most dangerous time the world is ever going to see is going to be that time of the hour of temptation, the time of Jacob's trouble. That's and this is all mounting up for that. At the tail end of last year, it was reported that wealthy investors kept less than 25% of their net assets in the stock market. Investors sell off for a variety of reasons. Tax season in the US is right around the corner, or some simply want to diversify with all these companies now firmly established as major players on Wall Street. It can also be simply the oldest adage of the market sell high, right? As in, the bubble, they know the bubbles are going to burst, but they're selling high, which even still means that there's going to be a great economic downturn, right? So this, as you can see, it's Jeff Bezos with his fiancée, Lauren Sanchez. Says he unloaded 8.5 billion in Amazon shares this month, which is fucking a great sum, all right? I wonder how much it is in comparison to his wealth, but it's still a lot of money nonetheless. Mark Zuckerberg, the world's fourth richest man, behind Bezos, Bernard or not, and Elon Musk, has sold roughly 1.5 million Meta shares, worth roughly 638 million since the end of 2023. All right. Walmart's Walton family sold 1.5 billion in a week, bringing its total sale proceeds to 2.3 billion since December. All right, and it's really all kind of around since the onset of Leave the World Behind. When you really put into the idea since the end of 2023 and December 2023. Jamie Dimon, chairman and CEO of JP Morgan, so someone with it on the inside, shilled 150 million this past week. His first stock sale since taking the reins of the bank nearly 2 decades ago. So that says a lot, all right? Because they've been screaming recession for how long? But this is one where these events have made him unload somewhat of his investments, all right? So it says in February 2024, Amazon founder Jeff Bezos sold 8.5 billion worth of stock during a nine period. Jamie Dimon sold $150 million worth of his stock. The first time he'd much such, I guess it's meant to say he made such a move since taking over the reins of the famed bank in 2006. In October, Dimon laid out a laundry list of major issues: the Russia-Ukraine war, the new war between Israel and Palestine in Gaza, high levels of government debt and deficits, high inflation, as well as tight labour market where worker demands for increased wages have led to high-profile strikes in manufacturing and entertainment. Now, mind you, we've had things like the pandemic where wealth came to a standstill, all right? The movement of money come to a standstill. But this, whatever's about to happen, all right, is going to be something real big. Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg was also in on the act, selling off 428 million in Meta stock in 2023. All right. So, I'll read a bit more. It says, between February 21 and 24, the family behind Walmart, the Waltons, sold 1.5 billion worth of stock. That brought their total amount sold since December to 2.3 billion. It's unclear where exactly these billionaires will spend their money. Zuckerberg's sell-off will pay for his new and that's what I was about to mention, his new compound on the Wines Island. But it's beautiful how they mentioned it as well, all right, because we know what that is speaking about, all right? Damn, I didn't even want to go there. But it says how Mark Zuckerberg is turning an idyllic corner of Hawaii into a Bond villain compound where his family can see out the apocalypse. And mind you, to mention, you had Joe Biden recently talk about, he let it slip that basically those in Hawaii that had the right colored painted roofs, they were basically spared from the destruction during that time. All right, so it's something brewing. All right, it's something brewing right now. So it says Bezos, meanwhile, has backed away from Amazon in order to spend more time away on his other things, including the rocket company Blue Origin and his philanthropy. It's possible that he could want to direct funds to those projects. So yeah, you can read on through the article, but that's the point, you know. Let's get into these scriptures. So, it's the book of Second Ezra 9:1. He answered me then and said, "Measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made." Yeah, when you go into the book of Matthew 24, our Lord Yahweh Shai, alright, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus, and depicts as a so-called white man, who is the direct opposite. He's a dark-skinned man with a woolly afro, alright? He basically was, there was an inquiry made by his disciples at the time, right, who became apostles, of when should be the return of the kingdom, all right? And the Lord spoke about events unfolding, which we've seen recently unfold, wars and rumors of wars, earthquakes, uproars in diverse places, which he mentioned as the beginning of sorrows. But then he also further spoke about other things happening, all right? Many of these things which we're seeing take place upon the earth right now, right? But we're instructed to measure the time. And what is our measuring stick? It's his word, all right? We have to weigh things up against the prophetic words in the Bible. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. Right, and that's what we're seeing right now. For like as all that is made in the world have a beginning and an end, the end is manifest. Even so, the times also of the highest have plain beginnings in wonder and powerful works, and endings in effects and signs. All right, and everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith whereby ye have believed, shall be preserved from the said perils, and shall see my salvation in my land and within my borders, for I sanctified them from the beginning, right before the foundations of the earth. The men of the elect have been chosen. Before there was an earth to walk upon, before there was oxygen to breathe, those men were chosen. Right, and these things we're seeing going on right now are a show of that. So really the point is, measure the time. And in measuring it, we could see that something big is about to happen. All right. So with that, I pray you edify to the next one. Say shalom, shalom.